So tell me, how exactly are you going to attract people who love you for you, who love your weirdness, who love your quirkiness, who love all the things that make you you if you're not showing anyone who you really are? Hey y'all, welcome back. I hope you got your tea. I hope you got your coffee. Happy Sunday. It's Deirdre here if you haven't been here before. And today we're talking about authenticity. If you aren't walking in your most authentic self, realize that you are not ever going to be as happy as you want to be. And we're starting off with a quote per usual. Today's is by Brene Brown, and she says, "Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are." Oh, it's such a good one, isn't it? Isn't it? It's crazy to think how hard it is sometimes to be exactly who you are, to embrace all aspects of yourself that you feel that you want to express on the inside. And it's sad because of the fear of being judged for a certain thing, because of the fear of, losing friends. It's just, and I think we've all gone through it, but authenticity is something that's so important to lead a more fulfilling life. Recently, I've been seeing information going around that authenticity is seen as the highest and most powerful human emotion. And so I did a little digging, did a little research on why that is. Why is it? Because, we talk about frequencies. If you understand anything about frequencies, you know that everything has its own frequency in this world. Animals, sounds, your organs, everything has its own vibration. And authenticity has recently been said to be more powerful than the frequency of love, which initially had been seen in the spiritual world as the most powerful vibration. But when you think about it, authenticity is the highest form of self-love, is it not? Loving yourself enough to feel comfortable in being exactly who you are, showing the weird, crazy, goofy, quirky parts of you. Authenticity is loving all of that about yourself. So it makes sense that this frequency would be just as powerful as love. So when you are more closely aligned with that frequency of authenticity, of love, essentially, you are more aligned with your true self. You are more aligned with things happening in the best way for you in life. And that's because, one, when you're being your true self, you have less confusion. You have less internal conflict. I have to tell you that when you're doing things in life that you don't want to do, you're going to have so much conflict. You're going to have so much internal thought, so much, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not how I'm supposed to be living. Because you're not living authentically, you have less clarity about what you're doing. Two, you have more fun and you have more memorable moments in life. When you're freely being yourself, that is when you're living in the moment. That's when you're living presently. You're truly allowing yourself to just do what you feel like you should be doing, to go climb a tree. You walk in the park, the random thought that pops in your head, you do it. Because you want to, because it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel happy. It's going to leave you with lasting memories. That only happens when you're truly living authentically. 3, you're living in a flow state. This reminds me of the movie Soul. Do you remember when he would have those moments where he's on the piano and it would take himself to another world? In the movie, when someone was completely being present in an experience, in a talent, in a gift that they had, they were in a flow state. They felt like they were in a whole nother world. They were truly experiencing joy and happiness and fulfillment out of what they were doing. And that's what it means to be in flow. I love to use Monet McMichael as an example because she truly lives in the flow state so much. She does the things that she feels she should be doing in life. Even when you see videos of her friends, things as simple as making those memorable moments, like going to dance out in the rain. It's doing something that you're like, oh, this seems fun. I want to do it. And now all your friends are doing it and you guys are having a super fun time. And that moment becomes a memory that you're going to reminisce about all the time. And the last thing is you find yourself attracting much more genuine and real, deep connections with people. A lot of y'all want deep and meaningful relationships, but you are too scared to show people who you really are. You're too scared to be yourself. So tell me, how exactly are you going to attract people who love you for you, who love your weirdness, who love your quirkiness, who love all the things that make you you if you're not showing anyone who you really are? If you never show anyone that part of you, then the people that resonate with that part of you are never going to show up. How does anyone know that part exists if you're not willing to share it with the world? Tell me how far it's gotten you to show up as the person everybody else wants you to be. Tell me how happy that makes you. Are you truly expressing yourself in the ways that you would like to? Or only doing things because that's what you think everybody else wants you to do. That's what you think other people would like. If you have yet to see why authenticity is admirable and desired by so many, look at your favorite celebrities, your favorite influencers, your favorite famous people. I can bet you that one of the reasons you admire them so much is because they aren't scared to live authentically in front of the world. They're being unapologetically themselves in their own unique, funny, or weird way. Because it feels good to resonate with someone who publicly affirms that weird thing that you were thinking too. That publicly affirms that thought, that publicly affirms that desire that you had. Publicly affirms that talent, that gift that you wanted to share, that you may have been scared to show, but somebody else is doing it, and now you feel a little more comfortable to do it yourself. We need more weirdos in the world, please. Please, more people in this world who are going to show it's okay to be cringy, show that it's okay to be embarrassed, show that it's okay to pick out a career that nobody's done before, to follow a passion or pursue a dream that isn't the norm, to create something that's never been created before. And the other part of authenticity that is so admirable is vulnerability. Don't think that being authentic is just about truly living in the happy moments, truly living in the fun and the exciting. It's also acknowledging and being truthful and honest about the sadness of it, about the pain of it, about the anger of it, and sharing that with the people you love, being vulnerable. There's so much fear with being vulnerable, being truly seen. You see that in relationships with people. People don't want to fully be themselves because they don't want to open up to people about the pain that they've been through, about the traumas they've been through. And obviously you do that in your own time, but realize that more often than not, people will meet you with love and care and support for that vulnerability. Of course, you have some people who will judge, but you're not going to be seen as weak by as many people as you think. You're going to be seen as courageous and brave for being willing to share that, for being willing to be vulnerable, when for so long you've been taught to not. Encanto is literally my favorite Disney movie right now, and I've watched it probably about 6 times, but Encanto is a prime example of how inauthenticity affects a family, affects an environment, affects a group of people, affects the amount of love that circulates in an environment. Every single family member is trying to be what is expected of them, trying to be this one thing, only tapping into one aspect of themselves. Isabella always having to appear perfectly, Luisa always having to be the strong sister, even Abuela, what's her name? Alma, always trying to be emotionless. They are all trying to be this one thing that they think is what everybody wants them to be, what they've been conditioned to be. And if you notice, Bruno is being cast away because his visions of the future are trying to help the family get to a place of being more authentically themselves, of being more loving, of being happier, of being less stressed. And as the movie progresses, you see how the home is breaking, the family is breaking. No one feels loved, no one feels happy. And when Mirabel finally helps the family fix its issues, fix the inability of them to show the multidimensionality of themselves, you see the family get closer. You see deeper connections form. You see everyone become happier, less stressed, because they're not being what they feel like they should be. They're embracing who they are, which is more than just the gift they give. It's every aspect of themselves. Speaking of being multidimensional, I know I'm not the only one who's noticed how we've been moving from more of a single career path lifestyle to experiencing every aspect of what we are. From feeling like we just need to do one thing for the rest of our lives to being okay with being multifaceted, being okay with switching careers, switching passions, trying all these different things, finding out what you love, finding out what you want to pursue, and just not being trapped in one thing. And I love it so much because it's a change of the narrative that we've been sold for so long that, truly allows us to be the multidimensional beings that we are. And I think that's so beautiful. So how do we start becoming more authentic? And exactly how does that associate with success? Psychologists say that being more authentic has shown to improve your well-being as a whole, because nothing is truly more freeing than being yourself. The first way is to truly let your heart lead the way. Sometimes you should let those intrusive thoughts win, not the scary, damaging ones, but the ones that are a little weird, a little curious, that are going to lead you to have a little more fun in life, that are going to lead you to do something that you haven't done before, that may put put you in a weird position, but is going to help you grow, that may put you in alignment with somebody else who's going to give you an opportunity that you may not have thought that you'd ever get. When you let your heart lead the way, often you find yourself in situations that you want to be in, experiencing moments that are memorable, being in a career that you actually want to work in, that you actually love, and being in relationships and friendships that truly are meaningful. And you might be wondering, how do I get to the point where I can even listen to my heart, where I can hear that intuitive thought? And mindfulness is the key to that. People forget sometimes that meditation is slightly about clearing your thoughts, but it's also about focusing in on the thoughts that matter, allowing things to flow to you. Because those things that flow to you during mindfulness are often the things that you should be pursuing, are often the ideas that you should be sharing, are often the creative projects that you should be making. The best friend of mindfulness is presence. Presence is another time where you truly get to be authentic. When you're present with your family, when you're present with your friends, and you're going out to have a good time, you are truly existing authentically. You are more likely to have more fun, less stress, because you're not worrying about anything else than what you're doing right now. And that is a key to success, because when I talk about success, I don't only mean success in monetary gain, in, financial growth and abundance. I mean it in how happy you are, how joyful you are, the relationships you have, the meaningful things that are going to outlast any material item. The other part of finding your true authenticity is stripping away the conditioning that you've been raised in. Looking at yourself and saying, what parts of me have been dulled down by my environment, by the people that may have imposed a certain narrative on me? What parts of me do I want to express more? What parts of me have I felt like I've had to hide to fit in? What parts of me have been altered based on a certain societal standard? And once you hone in on what those things are, start stripping those away slowly, start affirming the parts of you that you have felt maybe have been dulled down, the parts that maybe people have made you feel bad or weird about. And it's sad to think that being authentic is a risk of losing friends, a risk of losing support for what you decide to do with your life, a risk of letting go of an expectation for who you thought you should be. But with risk comes rewards. The rewards of realizing the people in your life who truly do love you regardless. The rewards of making more deeper, meaningful connections. The rewards of living a life with more happiness, more peace, and more love within it. And that's all I got for y'all today, but I truly hope that this inspires you to start living more authentically, living in your personal truth, and letting those things inside you that are begging to come out and play. and choosing to think for yourself. If anything, I want people to be free thinkers. I want people to not feel like the status quo is right, because look at the world we live in. Okay, I'm getting off topic. I could go into a whole nother tangent about the theories I have on this world, but that's not for today. That is not for today. So, thank you for joining me. I'm getting back on track with being consistent, so please stay tuned next week. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe for more, and yeah, wherever you're at, whatever time it is, good morning, good evening, good night. I love you. Goodbye.